In this video, we're going to see if we can help you plan ahead a little bit more for the month of July. We got spotlight caches coming. We've got amazing cards coming this month in the season pass. We'll look at that along with this current Patriots offer we got in game. Is that something that's worthwhile to buy? Not as far as just the value of it, but also will it help you get some of these cards that are arguably maybe must have. This seems to be one of the best upcoming months for cards we got going. And with the new system, pretty exciting to check out. So let's dive in. So first we've got this offer, Patriots in game, $20 US. So it's cash. You got 1,700 credits, 600 gold are the part that you're going to look at as far as planning ahead and progressing. They throw in 3 pretty cool looking variants as well. I do like those. This is obviously an American holiday, so folks outside the United States might not necessarily care about those as much, but maybe you just like cool looking variants and fireworks. We did a preview of the offers in the month of July. We're going to focus in on Patriots outside of the fact of what else we could potentially get. Again, we mentioned the credits in gold. This is a US dollar, so this is going to be about what is your monthly budget? How much cash do you have? This month, there are a lot of cash offers. We got 50 bucks there, and we've got another 45, so $95 worth of cash offers. So as far as what you're going to spend, this is one of the more expensive ones. The other one to look at is these potential mystery variants. Card acquisition at the moment is sort of on the edge because we don't have the spotlight caches. I'd argue you want to save all of your caches until that happens, but what's the release date for some of these cards? And we don't have to guess exactly when these cards are coming out and what series they're coming in. Data mines show we've got Jean Grey to Series 5, and that's on the 10th. We've got Echo in Series 5. That's on the 17th. We've got Legion to Series 4 on the 24th, and we've got Mirage to Series 4, and that's on July 31st. But the part that you're going to need to think about here is we know that the Spotlight caches are going to be starting on the July patch, which is scheduled for July 11th. So regardless of whatever card we're talking about here for the first week, July 10th, well, that means the patch is the next night. So whatever card that is, if you want it, don't spend tokens on it for 24 hours. Just wait to open it. So if it's Jean Grey, can you wait 24 hours just to open some Spotlight caches? And I'd argue for Jean Grey, save them tokens. Use the Spotlight caches, open 4, get Jean Grey out of that. Because the other 3, they're all solid, but I don't think as good as Jean. Jean is arguably the only card that's going to be able to drive people into spending those tokens a day before the change happens. My recommendation to you is wait. So you look at that, that's 6,000 tokens. I think Echo's probably Series 5, 6,000 tokens, and Mirage and Legion are 3,000. So knowing that, let's jump back to the offer real quick. So we look at this other one, it gives you 1,000 tokens. It's like, all right, a lot of my money here isn't getting me very much tokens. I basically am only going to get a maximum of 1,500 tokens this month if I spend all that money. I'm not sure it's necessarily worth that, but things that I'm going to, at least without going through the math yet, with the new economy, I still want to digest and deep dive that. I believe credits are going to lean into things because you're going to want to climb that ladder and get those spotlight caches because I think those are going to be easier to get the potential new cards with and are better for those new free-to-play players as well. So I'm going to focus on the actual credits. And as far as the credits go, this month, this offer is one of the best, actually the best one for cash. The only other one that's got close to the same amount is this one, 1,500. Ratio-wise, this power to move you is actually better. JK, why? Because you get gold. You can use gold in this one to actually refresh those credits in-game. So this is your best offer in the month of July to get credits when you're spending cash. Now, if you want to spend $20 cash on just credits and you get 1,450 gold, that's about 1,850 credits. So you're back over here. Well, that's technically a little bit more credits, but again, let's just look at this. So you're talking about 1,850. Let's take out the gold because you don't get that. It's the same, right? It's 1.0. And with that gold, it's actually 1.5 if you're at their original offer. So this offer is better as far as credits go in-game versus just buying them. This is your best $20 to spend in-game to get credits. So the variance in this one, while some might say, oh, this is cosmetic offer, if you're a spender in-game, might feel like a must-buy. However, I've actually labeled it as a maybe buy because of progression cosmetics. But having said that, that was before we got this new economy. I'm pushing this closer to you might want to buy it if you want to maximize your credits. Again, only if you're a spender. And if you're going to spend this month, this might be the one to look at. Again, $20 other dollars. The ones with the higher ratios this month, we got two here. We'll look over in a second. The Don't Touch the Ocean mystery one variant. This other mystery one's the same thing. It's a little bit higher, but those are it. So when you scroll over to the left for cash, you're not talking about a lot of credits in those though. So, I mean, you do get a lot of gold in this Namor boosters ones, Don't Touch the Ocean. So if you're a spender and minimal, if you're okay with spending $20 to $30 and you're looking for progression, maybe look at those. But Patriots, either way, is in the equation for that. I did a season pass review for one of these back in the day. It's essentially the same thing. And what I'm just going to go ahead and jump to is these discounts and these ratios. This is the must buy of all must buys in the game. Even if you're a free to play or want to be free to play, $10 per month is really, really good in a game like this for the value you get here. It's off the charts. If you're playing and enjoy this game, honestly, I would just say spend it unless you're in a financial situation that, frankly, this is not for you. But I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're probably thought about buying these, and I highly recommend doing that again. So planning ahead, we've got these cards coming to the game this month in Phoenix Force, Jean Grey, Echo, Mirage, and Legion. Second Dinner did a great sort of developer update on YouTube. I highly recommend checking that out. I'll put the link below. We'll put some clips in here from these. First off, Phoenix Force. This is a 5/6 and is going to revive one of your destroyed cards and merge with it. And then the card can move each turn. But remember, you're going to play this on turn 5 more than likely. So you really only have one opportunity to move it. You can see in the video here, they've got it merged with Human Torch, which gives it an additional 2 points after playing on Shuri. So you double up the Phoenix Force, destroy the Human Torch way before you even play Shuri. You can see the carnage off to the left-hand side. So now you've got a huge Phoenix Force merging. It moves over to the right to get 18, and then you can copy it with Taskmaster for a monster double 36 play on the final turn. That is absolutely huge. Some other potential options here I'd look into. Multiple Man. Think about using Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, Doctor Strange. You can really mix a good deck in here. Give yourself some multiple win conditions. Come over to the Discord. Helly's got a really good deck that he threw in there. Shout out to him for putting that together. I'm probably starting with that one. The season pass itself comes with these fire variants. We've talked about these before. Colossus is awesome. Magic, this is a really good variant. I think they're both just fantastic. And then this final Phoenix Force one, also a really, really good fire variant. So much fire this month, I just don't know what to do. All right, so Jean Grey comes in at a 3/3. We talked about this being Series 5. I think this is an absolute must get for a card. Again, I would try to wait 24 hours to be able to get it. I think one day, you know what, just play some Conquest or something. Don't stress about Jean Grey that day. Open up your Spotlight caches the following evening to get her. Forcing the other players as an ongoing card to play their first card here each turn is pretty huge. Now, it can get Rogued or Enchantress, but still, that's a fantastic card. And if you check out this footage, which is really nice, you can see that they actually move their Jean Grey around a little bit, which is awesome. So they've got a Jean Grey, they fill up somebody's lane, and then they cloak over to it, and then force the person to fill up another lane. It's pretty genius. Then we've got Echo. After an opponent plays an ongoing card here, their abilities are going to be crushed. This is really a hardcore Cosmo counter. And can you say hello to the Hela decks? Once again, Echo, Invisible Woman, MODOK, Hela, win. Is there anything that could even stop that? Now we've got Legion, which got a buff from 5/7 to 5/8. Is it really a buff, though, if it hasn't been released yet? And this replaces the locations of all the other locations with the current one you're played at. So as you saw there, you could play a Flood or a Death's Domain anywhere in the game, and that could really, really hurt your opponents, depending what sort of deck you're playing. It's a little bit niche, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Then we've got Mirage, which is a 2/2, and you copy the low-cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand and give it 2 power. I think if you like White Queen like they show here, you get some data. She pulls the highest cost card. Now you're also going to be able to pull the lowest cost card, but also give it some additional power. So you gather information, and if you play it in the same location, you will be a little bit stronger than what your opponent played there. They also talked about the locations a little bit, where you get the White Hot Room. This is going to give you +3 max energy if you fill it first. Hello Bounce, hello Craziness. This is going to be insane. When this gets out in the game and is a featured location, play bounce. Then they've also got Lake Hellas, which is going to give your 1-cost cards plus 2 power. Also a benefit to bounce. They also went through some of these pretty sweet variants. They got a Mystique, America Chavez, a Rockin' Wong, Echo, Peach Momoko, and they've got a new Adam Warlock, which is pretty sweet with the Infinity Gauntlet, a Max Gregke, Deadpool. So let's circle back about how to plan to make sure that you can get what you want this month and honestly even next month. Now, I will say up front, I had to do this quickly because I just got back from vacation and I want to dive into the math a little bit stronger here. But essentially, I'm starting to adjust my card release spreadsheet so that I can see how many caches are required, credits are required, that sort of thing, given the cards I might want to look at. So first, I'm looking at this first month, and look, you know, you can't just assume we get about, without factoring in any new economy changes, we get about 28,000 credits a month. Given that I'm really looking at these first 2 cards, I've only got a couple weeks to get that. So I cut my credits per month in half there. I look at how many additional collection ladders I'm going to climb, how many additional caches I'm going to get, how many caches required based on the cards I'm looking at. In this case, I'm looking at Jean Grey and Echo because I don't want to spend tokens, right? And that's the balance here. I'm going to look at, I don't want to spend tokens, but how much can I get from the collection ladder caches / spotlight cache. So I've got a huge difference of 56 caches, which means I'm going to essentially have to buy, well, wait, why does that say 35? Well, I've also factored in that I've currently got 11 and I've got 5,600 credits. So I'll get about an additional 9 or 10. So I've got to buy just to get these 2. If I don't want to spend any tokens, I've got to buy 35 more caches, which is about 21,000 credits. What were we talking about again, offers? Okay, hold on a second here. Hold on. All of the month, that's 11,000. If I bought everything in July, again, I had to go through my math quickly here, but I think you generally get the idea is that if you want everything, and look, let's be real, if you want everything, you've got to pay for it. That's how life works. That's how this game's going to work. You just got to deal with it. So this is where I start looking at, okay, well, which character do I really want this month if I'm in this situation? And you know what? Maybe I just take away Echo. And I'm just like, you know what? All right, I'm fine. I don't need Echo. I can get Jean Grey, no problem. You know what? Or maybe I'll get lucky and get one of those spotlight caches to open and then stop. Stop. That's what you do. And then you start looking at maybe what do I want to do for next month? And we already know Dakin, Lady Deathstrike, X-23, Silver Samurai coming. And frankly, I like all of those. I really like the destroy type archetype. Now I'd have to take this and maybe I don't take this divided by 2. That's just divided by 1. So it's nothing. So there I still get my credits, but I'm still looking at an insane amount. And actually, you know what? I take that back because I leave that where it's at because I've used those credits to potentially open up my Jean Grey caches. So I'm only looking at that many credits, and it's like, it's just bonkers. It's straight bonkers. So you've really got to look at a card. One thing to note here is you basically can pick 1 card a month for sure. For sure, you're getting 1 new card a month from just playing the game, which is something that you could never necessarily, well, I guess you got the tokens and you were a little short, but you could essentially get that Token Tuesdays help pull it off. So it's about the same there. But you start really got to looking at credits to say, which credits do I want to get here? And, you know, the whales and people like that, they're going to definitely go to that in-store, buy this a lot. And again, like I always say, refresh these as much as possible and refresh this as much as possible to get and optimize those credits. At the end of the day, that's only the $100 will get you 3 days worth of buying credits and about 5,800 worth of credits. That's every 3 days, which means you've got to buy that 7.5 times, which is about what it takes in a month, which means every month you're dropping $700 to $800 if you want to get all of those cards and everything from exactly what I've got here. So that's, you know, that's a chunk of change for sure. So planning ahead and looking at what you want to do here, it's going to be difficult, but you really got to focus in on one card. And I'm going to say, unfortunately, this month it's Jean Grey, which you're going to want to get early. She's early. So you got to, I hope you've been saving since they've announced this. If you've already missed that opportunity, and you're going to pass on some of these other ones, then start looking at August and start planning ahead now and save for that week so that you can have those 40 caches that you want to have saved up so that you can guarantee that you get whatever card this is. So I hope this video was helpful for you. It's a little bit of something that I wanted to start getting into. Again, I need to deep dive on this a little bit. Comment below if you saw anything there so I can adjust these and get it refined for future offer reviews, etc. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm still leaning into what Second Dinner and some of the other content creators who've run the math on this saying that this is a better system. It does guarantee you some selection of what you want to get. Very similar to what it was before, but ultimately, if the game keeps expanding, that's what we want. We will see how it shakes out in the end. But ultimately, I am very excited for this season, even with Phoenix Force forgetting all these other cards. I think Phoenix Force by itself is going to be a lot of fun. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like I said, if this was helpful, considering hammering down that like button. If you want to share with your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, always appreciate that. Till next time, hope you have a wonderful day.